Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited for this training as this was like my favorite training last year, so I want to take a moment to thank Amy for joining us and passing on her wisdom. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment to introduce you all to Amy. So, as a trained live music producer for Tom Jackson Productions, Amy Wolter offers her years of personal experience on stage along with a multi layered musical background to help artists engage their audiences by creating compelling, memorable live shows. She was co lead in the Midwest based rock band Fighter and has been on stage in front of thousands over the years. The band was signed to word label Wonderland, and her songwriting skills earning the band some top 10 CCM hits. This was followed by the release of her solo project, Hit Me in the Heart. In addition to being an artist, Amy's earned the titles of producer, arranger, keyboardist, competition judge, session singer, and jingle composer. All of this experience culminates in her position as a live music producer and enables her to help artists in a big way. She has helped hundreds of artists of all genres prep for major headline and opening act tour slots and showcases for labels. Some of her clients include Grammy Award winners, the band Perry and Lacrae, CMA and ACM winning country acts Gloriana and Thomas Square, contestants for The Voice and American Idol, and top Canadian artists CCMA winners High Valley, Jesse Moskaluk, and Chad Brownlee.
Am I on? I'm sorry. I had no audio going into this. So it's great to be with you guys here. And I'm excited to show you some things that I've learned and some helpful things for artists. We'll get to Madison in a little bit, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit first about what it is that I do. You as artists put a lot of work into your art between rehearsing, learning your instrument, keeping your voice in shape, songwriting, and then social media on top of that. But none of that does any good if you're not able to connect and communicate with your audience, either live in a live performance or online, as a lot of you are doing. And most of your income as an artist, pre-COVID, after COVID, will come from your live performance. So if you're not getting that right, you're missing out. You're missing out on a real connection with your fans. So in order to be truly great as a live performer, you first of all need to really understand your audience. Because you can have the greatest song, the greatest voice in the world, or be the greatest player, but if you don't understand your audience and communication, you're not going to truly connect with them. You need to know, first of all, that people go to shows for 3 reasons. The first reason is to be captured and engaged. People want to forget about life. They want to, their daily lives are kind of boring, and they want to connect with an artist who's going to bring them great art and great music and escape. So we got to keep that in mind first and foremost. The second reason they go is to experience moments. And what I mean by that is they want to feel something. They want to be thrilled. They want to feel the hair on their arms raised, get goosebumps. They want to be moved. They want to laugh. They even want to cry, maybe. They want to feel something. So that's more, all of that, creating those moments is more important than actually playing every note perfectly. Sure, we strive for perfection, and you should, but did you really get to their emotions? Did you make them feel something? When you do that, it's a special connection that they'll remember forever. The third reason people go to shows is to be changed. Now, they might consciously not know these 3 things, but this third reason, they are looking for maybe an answer in your lyric for something that they're going through. They might need encouragement or just hope. So all of those things we have to keep in mind. We have to understand that people are not just coming to hear songs, okay? So now that we know this, what do we do with it? Well, it's a 4-letter word you might not want to hear. It's called work. We prepare. Just like you spend time on your songwriting, guitar lessons, practice playing together with your band, whatever, you need to work on the actual show. What are you going to do when you hit the stage? Playing songs is not enough. So one of Tom Jackson's 10 commandments of performance is thou shalt not wing it. So you need to have a plan before you go on stage or go online. If you're getting really nervous before you go online or get on stage, it's usually because you're winging it and you have 100 things going through your head. So it might sound something like this. All these questions. Is anyone listening to me? What song should I play next? Oh, I knew I should have put together a set list. I can't remember the words to the second verse. Maybe I should talk after this song. What should I say? I think my guitar's out of tune. I wonder if they can tell I'm nervous. Oh man, I need some water. Where's my water bottle? Do I need a capo on the next song? You know, it's like all these things are bombarding when we actually should be thinking about communicating the song to the audience. So don't be like people that just say, oh, I like to wing it and be spontaneous, because we can all tell, by the way, when you're winging it. When's the last time you looked at yourself on video? If you're not, you should be, because that's a huge learning tool. You need to have a plan, and plans don't limit you. They actually free you up, because spontaneity works best out of form. Once you have that plan, you plan your set list, you create different moments in that set. Once you have that plan, it frees you up then to be in the moment with the audience. And if you're live in person with people, sometimes spontaneous things happen and you want to go with it. And the beauty of having the plan is that you can allow those spontaneous moments to happen, but you have that plan to go back to once you follow that moment. So you need to understand the tools you use on stage, the techniques of the stage and movement, and how to speak to your audience. Did you guys know that 55% of communication from the stage is visual, what people see? Only 15% is the content, your lyrics, the song itself, and the other 35% is the tone or emotion it's delivered with. So ask yourself this: do all your songs sound the same? Then the follow-up question is, then why do all your songs look the same? Because they shouldn't. They should, each song should look a little bit different to communicate what you're singing about. If people see the same thing song after song, nothing changes visually, all the songs will start sounding the same. It's a weird thing, but it happens. So now online, these percentages shift somewhat for online, because it's kind of shrunk down. You're not on a big stage, so the message becomes more important. They're more zoned into that because of the intimate setting. And then the visuals are still important, but they become mostly about facial expression and body language. And that speaks volumes for people on the other end. Another key thing you need to understand is that audiences are ignorant when it comes to musical things. They're not stupid, they're just ignorant of musical things. Some of them don't even know the difference between singing high C and drinking high C. So they don't know. If you say, I'm going to play Mixolydian scale, and they don't know what that is. But they do understand human behavior and how you make them feel. So they can spot if you're nervous or scattered or distracted. Your audience is able to tell if you care that they showed up. So we need to keep that in mind when we're doing shows. And this falls under the Tom Jackson mantra of love your audience, which is huge to keep in mind. Now, what do I mean by that? This just means having the attitude of wanting to give anything you can for the benefit of everybody in the audience. Because if you're totally self-absorbed in your music, you never look at them, you don't respond to them, they won't warm up to you. They have to have that connection with you. So just to go a little further with this down this road is ask yourself, what keeps us from loving others? And the answer to that is self-consciousness. When we're too concerned about me, if we're busy thinking about how we look, who's there, how we sound, all that stuff that we should prepare for, then we're not able to give the audience the attention they deserve. So preparing your show, your set in advance will give you confidence and allow you to think about them. Huge. You need to prepare not only for the show, but also be prepared emotionally before you hit the stage or go online. You got to be ready. So make the time. If you're meant to do this, if you're meant to perform, then you need to be prepared and step on stage, step before that camera and own it. Here's something else you need to remember that will help you. If you're nervous before you go on stage, and a little nerves are fine, you know, all of us, I think, have some of that. But keep this in mind, 97%, I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you, but it's important. 97% of your audience wants to like you. Isn't that crazy? We think, oh, we have to win over the whole crowd. But in essence, they're already on our side. If they got online with you, if they bought a ticket to your show, they're coming wanting it to be good. So we always think in the negative. You know, I know a lot of artists some artists have low self-esteem, and there's always that scratch and claw to, you know, that insecurity that screams, I want people to like me. So if we walk in knowing that there's 100 people in the room, if we walk in knowing that 97 of them are going to like us, we're going to forget those 3, you know, who cares about that? Because typically those are people that you'll never please. No matter what you do, what you say, they just will never be pleased. So we're killing ourselves if we try to make everyone like you, because truth is, not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone likes me. And the older I get, the less I care. All right. So yeah, because think about it. Like what was the last concert you went to? Is Madison on screen? Can you guys see Madison?
Hi.
Madison, did we talk about it? What was the last show you went to that you did? Did you go to a concert? Yeah. Like, tell me the last live concert you went to.
I'm trying to think what it was. I think it was Roger Hodgson from Supertramp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how were you after you bought your ticket? What were your thoughts on that? Were you like, I hope this concert sucks?
Oh, I was so excited. Me and my dad have been wanting to go and see him for years, but I was too young. So
Oh, Supertramp. Wow. Yeah.
And he had the full orchestra there and everything. So
wow.
It was pretty flawless.
Yeah. So you artists need to think that way. It's like if somebody's bought a ticket to come and see you, come and hear you, they're already excited, right? They're not thinking, oh, I hope this is terrible. I hope Madison just falls off the stage. I hope she's terrible. And we're all excited, like, ooh, Madison's gonna sing and Sydney's gonna sing. So just keep that in mind. So we work with artists. Tom and I work with artists all over the country, all US and Canada mainly, but all over the world. Tom's been artists that get on stage before hundreds or thousands of people. But we also work with artists who play on small stages, indie artists like some of you that, you know, do coffee houses, house concerts. And what you're doing in this online setting is definitely fits that a small stage type of feel. So I want to show you how to approach these kind of gigs so that you can stand out, because there's millions of people screaming for our online attention. And what's going to make you stand out from like clicking you off and clicking on the next person? So I'm going to focus on mainly 3 different areas. One is storytelling, second is staging, and the third is song rearranging. 3 S's there. And since these they get a bit intertwined, I'm going to start by having Madison. Madison, are you going to start or is Sydney going to start?
I'm happy either way.
Okay, we'll stick with you.
Sure.
Since you're already up. So the things are a bit intertwined. So I'll be kind of teaching as we go. And as first of all, we're going to have Madison play a song, and then I'm going to kind of break it down and give her some ideas. So I want you all to be sure to take notes in case you've got ideas for your own songs, your own gigs, and then write down or message questions to Madeline, and we'll make sure we answer those. Madeline, if there are questions directly related to what I'm doing with Madison or Sydney, go ahead and bring them up at the time. Otherwise, wait till after they're done, and we'll address those questions like after each of their sessions, if that makes sense. So, without further ado, Madison, I told her I wanted her to do this song the way she normally does, either online or live, and she has a verbal setup that she has before this. So we will let her play that in its entirety and then break it down.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, so the song that I'm going to be playing for you guys is called Who Am I? I wrote this song when I was 15. And I was being told by my guidance counselors in high school that I had to choose a path that was realistic and besides music, and I had to decide what I wanted to do for the rest of my life at the age of 15, which was like heavily stressful at the time. So I ended up writing Who Am I in response to it, which probably wasn't the response that they were hoping for when they told me to figure out what I actually wanted to do. But that kind of set in stone what I really sought out for my life, which is music. And I'm going to play that song for you guys right now. Sitting on my doorstep, wondering why, staring at the sidewalk, ready to cry as I try to realize who am I. Staring at the stars, asking for help, figuring out little of myself as I try to see who will I be? Who will I be? I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out their life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. They're always asking me if I'm well, and I wonder if they'll buy what I'm trying to sell. I'm overwhelmed by society's spell, trying to make me choose before I'm grown, and I'm writing this song so that it's known that I'm totally prone to having a mind of my own. My own. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. And I got a lesson to teach, maybe far from my reach, but I'm gonna choose my path before my time is finally past. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child.
Yay.
Pretty much.
Thanks. Very pretty. So let's address, first of all, your surroundings.
Yes.
So when you go online, so the whiteboard in back is obviously a distraction. And so let's shut those curtains and get rid of any kind of distracting stuff. If you're in your bedroom, try not to be in your bedroom. We don't want to see your messy bed or whatever. I mean, yeah, there's like, so if you were in tight, there's still some walls showing between the curtains, but much better already. And for that matter, you might want to throw a little a light on, like if it's a color curtain, you could throw a light on it. I mean, you don't have to do that, Madison, obviously, but lighting is kind of important in, you know, making sure everything looks good. So now I can focus on Madison without the distraction of what's happening behind her. Now, the exception is Tom mentioned he saw Shawn Mendes in one of his early videos. He did a video from home, and behind him on the wall were all his like pictures and medals from, you know, from school and stuff like that. And Tom said he thought it was really clever because it kind of showed people who he was. So if there's something like that that kind of maybe helps people connect with you, I mean, that's kind of a cool way to do it, a kind of a subliminal, subtle way. So, but otherwise you can create a cool atmosphere by, like for this song, Madison, maybe I would even grab like some stands or a cool candelabra and light a bunch of candles around, like for the right song, set the mood. If you're doing just kind of a mellower set, that may be a cool way to do it. Or lamp. Some people set their little small coffee house stages with a cool tapestry rug and a lamp and a chair and that kind of vibe. So it all depends on who you are. I want to stay true and bring out who each artist is. And the way you do that will look different for everyone. I mean, maybe if you're into the hippie thing, maybe it's like a tie-dye background and, you know, cool funky lava lamps or something like that sitting around or stuff like that. So anyway, I just want to encourage you, guys all think about that. So I feel like, Madison, do you have a stool handy to sit on?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So I kind of feel like if she's standing, it's a little more aggressive, but I like the options. So since her keyboard is high, and if she would want to, maybe if you want to back off the camera too, I mean, you don't have to do it now, but if you back off the camera, if you're doing a whole set, some standing, some sitting, you may want to back the camera off a little bit so we can see kind of the different feel it creates.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're playing aggressive song, standing makes more sense. So that's cool, but we're good. Yeah.
A little bit, at least.
Yeah. So yeah, just sitting. Now when you sit down, and this goes for guitar players too, when we see you sit for part of your set, that helps us. We sit down mentally with you and relax, so we know you're not going to do anything. I mean, like movement wise. So it helps us to kind of now focus on the song itself, since it just gives us a mental break, actually, when we see a visual move like that. So now let's talk about your setup. I want you guys to, as much as possible, to get rid of things like, I don't know, I can't remember if you said this today, Madison, but phrases like, the name of this next song is, or this next song is about, or so it's more captivating for me as a listener if I hear you say, when I was getting ready to go into grade 11, I had all this advice coming at me. What are you going to take? So if you can craft your story that way, and that's going to get my attention more, because the other phrases tend to tune out because that is so common. And I'm not picking on you or anybody, but it's so common to say those same phrases, and it doesn't give me anything. The name of a song doesn't tell me anything about it. But I like the fact that you're telling this story, because it does give me some insight on who you are and the pressure you were under. You were only 15. So can you retell that story and start it in a different way? Start right with the story and see if we can hone in on this a little better.
For sure. So I'm on the stage now.
Yeah.
So when I was 15 years old, like most 15-year-olds, I was in high school, and I was being told by all my guidance counselors, the ones that are supposed to tell you what to do, that I needed to make backup plans for music. And I didn't like that they were telling me that, but it was fair. However, because of that, I felt very stressed. I was only 15 years old and trying to plan out the rest of my life, and the courses that I was to choose for grade 11 dictated how the rest of my life was going to go. So the only logical response for me was to go home and write a song about how stressed I was, which is probably not the response that they were hoping for in terms of that. But I'm a musician and I'm a songwriter, and that's kind of what helped me figure that out, is going home, writing this song, and realizing that's what made me happiest. So this is what I came up with.
Okay. Yeah. So much better. But how about we end it when you said, so I did what, I don't know how you said that. When you end it with, so I went home and wrote a song about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Suspense.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't need to say anything else. So you've already said you wrote the song, so it's obviously we won't need the name of it or anything. I think "Who Am I" is going to come out. The other option, you could end with. Now I like to do this as well. if it works, I like to tie the title of the song into into the verbal part of it, into the setup. So the other option for this, I mean, the way you ended is kind of humorous and that works, but it is kind of it's a mellow, kind of serious song. So if you want to keep it that way, you might end with, so, I sat down at the piano and I just thought, who am I? And then go into the song.
Yeah, I like
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that again. End it that way. Actually, can you do you know what I mean by, I don't know if you've heard Tom talk about this, but can you dink at the keys a little bit while you're talking, but not much. Don't play the rhythm. A little chord every now and then to just kind of underscore what you're saying.
For sure. I can definitely try that.
Okay.
All right. So when I was 15 years old, like most 15-year-olds, I was in high school at the time. And I was being told by all my guidance counselors that I kind of had to choose what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And that made me uncomfortable and made me very stressed. I knew I needed a backup plan of sorts, but my only logical response was to go home and write a song about it. And I sat down at my piano and just kind of thought, who am I?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. That felt good. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, the cool segue into this, I want you to try. I want you to play me the first chord of the chorus, and I want to try a little out of time opening. So I would go maybe up an octave.
Okay.
For this. So after you say, who am I? So land on that first chord and hold it, and then sing that first line of the chorus out of time.
Okay. So do you want me to do the story as well leading up to it?
Not yet. We'll go back to that. I want to play with this a little bit.
Sure.
And get this down, and then we'll piece it together.
All right. So here we go. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child.
Whoa, stop. Okay, let's end it with that. I'm just a child.
Right.
Yeah, and then leave it on that chord. Then give it a pause. Mm-hmm. Now then start the intro.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So take a little more time with. Actually, you did take. It felt pretty good. And yeah, sing it kind of like almost singy, speak it.
Okay.
Because you're really just. I want this to feel like it's just coming right out of what you've said. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like you're making the song up on the spot out of what you've just told us.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So give me the last the last line or two of what you say, okay. And then hit that first chord.
So I was being told by the people that, are supposed to guide you through life that I had to come up with a backup plan, but the only response that I had was to go home and write a song. So I sat down at the piano and kind of just thought, who am I? I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child.
Yeah, hang on that chord. Bum. Just let that one sustain for a bit, and then you'll go to the intro.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can play with the phrasing a little bit too, but that's the right idea. Mm-hmm. That's the right idea. So do that again, and then we'll go into the go into the top of the song.
All right. Including the first, like the last lines and everything.
Yeah, take the last lines of the verbal. We'll piece it all together at the end so we can have a complete run through of it. But I actually do the verbal setup because I want to hear hear it all in context.
Sure. Okay. So when I was about 15 years old, like most 15-year-olds, I was in high school, and I was being told by my guidance counselors that I had to come up with a backup plan for music, and I had to choose my courses that would determine the rest of my life at the age of 15, which was extremely jarring for me at the time. And the only logical response for me was to go home and write a song about it. So I sat down at the piano and I kind of just thought, who am I? I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child. Cool.
Yes.
Cool. That felt
Awesome. Good job. How'd that feel?
really good. Yeah, that conveys a lot more emotion than before.
Yeah, it really does. And like, ooh, that story. Just like, because every 15-year-old can relate to that. 16, 17,
For sure.
Yeah. So now I would like to try the verses. I don't know how many piano players, keyboard players we have in the audience right now, but when you are a solo artist playing an instrument, you and that instrument are the band. So changing the dynamics of the song is important. So we do that by the way we play. With Sydney, it'll be different on guitar, but on keyboards. So there's, the way she's playing it out, pretty chords. But now I want to change what she does in the verse, the way she plays it, to kind of break things up. So I've asked her to kind of pedal back and forth on those verse chords just to see what that sounds like. Now, sometimes you'll try things and this sounds good in my head, but maybe when she does it, we'll both go, nah, that doesn't work. But the important thing is we got to try it because I'd love to. I don't want people to tune out. I want to keep that interest there. So the way we do that is changing dynamics. Okay. So go ahead and start. Let's see. Do you start with? Oh yeah. So okay, play the intro. So start as if you're playing the intro after the out of time thing.
Okay. Sitting on my doorstep, wondering why, staring at the sidewalk, ready to cry as I try to realize who am I? Staring at the stars, asking for help, figuring out little of myself as I try to see who will I be? Who will I be? I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. They're always asking me if I'm well. I wonder if they'll buy what I'm trying to sell. I'm overwhelmed by society's spell, trying to make me choose before I'm grown.
Okay,
Yeah.
stop. Okay, so let's pedal that second verse. Start from the up to down. Can you double time that? Maybe not. That's too fast. Okay, so make it more. Yeah, so that'll change it up a little bit. Keep it in the same tempo, of course. But let me come out of, like, sing the last line of the chorus and then go into verse 2 and play it that way.
All right. Just a child trying to figure out their life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. They're always asking me if I'm well. I wonder if they'll buy what I'm trying to sell. I'm overwhelmed by society's spell, trying to make me choose before I'm grown. I'm writing this song so that it's known that I'm totally prone to having a mind of my own. My own. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for
Yeah.
it in the way. I'm
Good.
just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. And then I go into the bridge there.
Okay, go into the bridge a little bit of it, and I'll stop you.
Should I pedal?
No, play it like you've been playing it.
And I got a lesson to teach. And I got a lesson to teach. Maybe far from our reach, but I'm gonna choose my path before my time is finally past.
Okay, good. So yeah, so the choruses obviously are bigger, boom, down, boom, bam. But I really liked the pedaling on the verse, don't you?
It added a lot to that section. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. So if you want to do it on both verses, that's awesome. There's just 2 verses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I would like, when you end that second chorus, trying to understand what's wrong and right, can you leave that note up instead of going down? Because you're going down on a lot of those phrases. So just to change it up,
Sure.
I'd leave it up. Now, but on the bridge, now I want to try another pattern. What are the chords you're playing?
A minor, G, A minor, F.
So what does it sound like if on the right hand you go da 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 da? Try that on the bridge. Let's see what that sounds like.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So it'd be like, and I got a lesson to teach, maybe far from our reach, but I'm gonna choose my path before my time is finally past.
So but let's put your left hand, go down an octave. I mean, play big bass chords that just kind of hold while you're doing that with the right hand.
Sure. And I got a lesson to teach, and I got a lesson to teach, maybe far from our reach, but I'm gonna choose my path before my time is finally past.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I don't know what you think about it.
Really cool. It adds like a big part to the bridge. Like I felt when I wrote the song, the bridge kind of felt like it was just an extended part of the chorus, which it was what it was, but I like this better. It adds like a difference to the bridge for sure.
Yeah, because a lot of times the bridge is a turning point. So you want that to really, really stand out and kind of cleanse the palate, as they say. So now for an online gig, I think I would leave off those extra bars between that bridge and the next chorus.
Okay.
Because it's like, you don't want to, it's like, I think kind of knowing when to, it's a balance, definitely, but nothing's happening there. In other words, if there was maybe a lead, if you're, a lead or a solo thing or a vocal lick thing there or something, that would be fine. But I want you to build the end of that bridge big, and then I don't know, once you come in, I don't know if I'm ready, then it's big again.
Yeah,
Then
definitely.
back to your old pattern.
Cool. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So let's see. Okay, yeah, let's just try that. So do the bridge, full bridge into that next chorus without the extra bars.
All right. And I got a lesson to teach, maybe far from a reach, but I'm gonna choose my path before my time is finally passed. I don't know it, oh, I don't know it. Something's wrong there. I don't know if I'm ready.
Hey, wait,
for this.
hold it. So what chord is passed? Is that the same chord?
Yeah, F.
Past. Let's put one bar in there, but it's a build. Dun dun dun. I don't know if I'm.
Gotcha.
So
hold on.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So start from the bridge.
Yes.
And I got a lesson to teach, maybe far from a reach, but I'm gonna choose my path before my time is finally passed.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, make that just go flawlessly into before my time. Play before my time is finally passed.
But before my time is finally passed, I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah. Kind of figuring out how many counts to leave in there, but the idea is like build that up. So at the end of this next chorus, I think vocally, I would love to see you go up at the end of it, because the lines are always going down. So I think that would have more impact and really jump out at me. And then I think on the, I would play through that first chorus like normal, and then save those stops and sustains for that very last outro.
Okay.
So in other words, I don't know if I'm ready for this change. I think, and I'd like to hear what that sounds like if we take that out of time again.
Sure.
Like and maybe go at the very end.
Okay. Yeah.
That last outro, and maybe play it up an octave.
Kind of like the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
See what that feels like, and then we'll put that. I think maybe let's put a resolve chord on the end of that.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. You're such a good student, isn't she? I'm not reading comments, otherwise I'd be distracted, but I hope you guys are loving her. Big hearts. Okay. You want to come out of the bridge?
Sure.
Okay.
So starting on that F.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ooh, I keep hitting that like deep minor chord. That's really ugly. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's
Keep playing through that.
I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right.
Can you go up more?
I can. I'm nervous.
Yo, go for it. Good.
Yeah.
Start from I'm just a child trying to figure out
All right. I'm
your
just
life.
a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right.
Up, 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 up. Yeah. It's so ingrained, isn't it?
I've been playing it since I was 15, so
How old are you now?
20. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a long time to get it in there. But that's going to be magical, though, I think.
I think so too.
I can feel it.
Revamping there. I definitely agree with that, with the
Okay.
line there. So
Good. Yeah. So when you come out of that bridge into the chorus, play through, just keep playing through that and save those sustains till the outro.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So teaching, so for the rest of you, this is song rearrangement. And we do this because sometimes the way you record it for radio, your producer in the studio is recording and producing for radio listening. A live audience, you don't have those restrictions. So for radio, sometimes they like short intros, hurry up, get to the chorus, that kind of thing. But for a live audience, we can take liberties and really play with the arrangement to allow these moments to happen. So if she's executing this right, there'll be some goosebump moments in there. So that's why we kind of take time to, massage the song, to pull out what are the cool things in there that the audience will miss if we don't, draw attention to them. And again, then take them on a journey with these different dynamics of different ways of playing the keys. So take it from somewhere in that big chorus, go up, and then is it just the one chorus and then the outro?
Yes.
Okay. So then do the outro, stop and sustain, octave higher.
Okay.
And you don't have to sing that quiet though this time, like you did at the beginning.
Gotcha.
I'm just a child. And leave a pause after child, and then bring me down to a low, just one chord.
Okay.
Simple. Yeah. Let's see how that feels.
All right. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. I don't know if I'm ready for this change.
Leave a space.
Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. Just a child.
Space. Boom. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
A little rough, but like I'll work on them.
No, you did great. So now let's do it from the top with everything.
All right, I'll try and remember it all.
I know it's a lot. So we're doing the out of time, the story. So we've got the storytelling aspect in there at the beginning. Out of time open, pedaling on the verses. we're going to leave that second chorus, don't go down on that right again, just kind of leave that up. Don't worry if you mess anything up, and then the different pattern on the bridge. We're going to skip those extra bars afterwards. And then what we just did.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
doing great.
I can't promise this is going to be very seamless, but
oh man, you're
original way. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really coming across well, I think. Okay. Here, Madeline, are there any questions up to this point before she plays the whole thing? Nothing? Okay, because I don't have you in my ears. You might be muted. Okay, she gave me a thumbs up, so. Okay.
I shall
all right, you are on.
You guys are my audience. I am prepared. All right. So when I was about 15 years old, I was being told by my guidance counselors in high school, because as a 15-year-old, that's kind of where you are, that I have to choose all my courses for grade 11, and it'll determine the rest of my life. And that obviously made me very anxious and very stressed. So they wanted me to come up with a backup plan of some sort. And my response to them telling me that was to go home and write a song, and sat down at my piano and played a few keys. And the only question I had in my head was, who am I? I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child. Sitting on my doorstep, wondering why. Staring at the sidewalk, ready to cry as I try to realize, who am I? Staring at the stars, asking for help, figuring out little of myself as I try to see. Who will I be? Who will I be? I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. They're always asking me if I'm well. I wonder if they'll buy what I'm trying to sell. I'm overwhelmed by society's spell, trying to make me choose before I'm grown. I'm writing this song so that it's known that I'm totally prone to having a mind of my own. My own. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. And I got a lesson to teach, maybe far from my reach, but I'm gonna choose my path I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child trying to figure out the life. I'm trying to understand what's wrong and right. I don't know if I'm ready for this change. Don't know if I'm prepared for what's in the way. I'm just a child.
Ooh, yeah. Now, visually, stay on that, just hang there on that chord a little bit. No, leave your hands on it and just be still, just hang there for a little bit. Because if you run away from that too soon, it takes the impact away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just want to sit there a minute because I got goosebumps when you hit that last chord.
Yeah.
In fact, I would leave out that one before. Child, boom. I'd just leave the chord on child and then go right to that resolve chord, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, but that felt really, really good.
Thank you. That brought a lot more life into the song for sure.
Yeah, it really did. Now, we haven't talked about eye contact yet, and that's kind of a hard thing because people will go, well, do I look at the camera? Where do I look? I think it's a mix of both, and I think you can look different directions, but making that direct eye contact with the camera for a lot of it is awesome, but not too much. It's kind of like when you're looking at an audience. I think you don't want to look at one person for too long, otherwise it gets a little awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to finish a phrase or a thought looking at one person and look to the next. So Madeline, what do you, I don't know if you're taking questions now or if you've got any that we need to address right now. After? Okay. Oh, gotcha. And are you going to run when are you going to run the video? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and run that? That'd be awesome.
All that's training, all the schooling, all the money invested, all it really intends to get you is to this place, stage. So if you understand that and can apply that to your songs, then we'll be better communicators from stage. That's what this is all about. Do your songs sound the same? Tell me, do they? Hopefully not. But if your songs don't sound the same, why do your songs all look the same? I want to get you out of the thought of singing songs, and I want to get you into the thought of creating moments. Because people don't come to hear songs. They come to experience moments.
You will lose your man. You will lose your man. Wasting all your time. Let the outlaw spirit show you the way.
If you have a well-written song, the moments are in there. They are in there waiting to be cracked open. Unfortunately, here is what a concert is to people, is they put songs together. They learn their songs, technically correct. They sing them well. They string them together and, oh, this would be good here. This would be good here. Okay, here's here. We'll talk here. And then we kind of go out and wing it. And that is absolutely the norm. We want spontaneity, but we need the form. This is the form. This is the form. So the next thing we need to understand is our relationship with our audience when we walk in the building. Are we dating or are we married? When you go to a movie, you don't want to be thinking about, oh, I left the coffee on, oh, what's happening tomorrow? You want to be completely present in the moment. And so does your audience. They want to experience moments. They want to laugh. They want to cry. They want chills on their arms. We need to understand our audience, and we need to love our audience. If we have planned, we have done all the skill stuff beforehand, all the fundamentals, and we've rehearsed correctly. When we walk out on stage, it's going to feel great. And not only going to feel great, then we are going to start getting into the spontaneous stuff where it becomes magical. Now we're developing the artist. Now it makes it easier for somebody to produce the show.
Hey, well, thanks for again for tuning in, and I so appreciate Madison letting me mess with her song and showing you guys some things. So next up, we're going to have Sydney Riley play. She's going to do a cover song called. We've got actually a piece of another. Her original song as well, one of her originals, but I wanted to start this song, New Orleans is Sinking, got my attention. I like the vibe of it. So we're gonna have her play it, and then we'll get into it and tear it apart and put it back together. Okay,
we have a question here for you, Amy.
Okay, great.
Which is, I feel like song explanations before the song can kill a vibe. Not always. There's a time and place. Good for slow ballads, but before every song?
No, not before every song. So that's a great question. Definitely, you don't want to be talking before every song. Certain songs lyrically may be, if you feel like an explanation of the story behind it is interesting enough to get our attention and so we get more out of it, yes, those are the ones you pick. Or let's say you're doing maybe a lot of covers in your set. You might tell the audience, pick one or two that say, why did you choose that cover if it's not an original? Why is she choosing these Fleetwood Mac songs, or Coldplay or whatever it is? What's your connection to those songs, or why did you choose it? Sometimes it's the meaning behind the song really resonates. So those are the things that that can be interesting to the audience, and kind of gives us more of an insight to who you are as an artist, and tell us, it says something about you. So yeah, great question. Tie some songs together. Don't talk before every song. All right. You bet. Thanks, Tori. Okay, Sydney, go ahead and do New Orleans is Sinking.
All right, sounds good.
Living blues on the street, loose and complete, under skies of smoky blue-green. And I can't forsake Dixie dead shake, so we dance the sour clean. My memory is muddy, what's this river that I'm in? New Orleans is sinking, man, and I don't wanna swim.
Good job. Good job. Okay. I want to focus a little bit about some visual things, visual cues you can do. First of all, can you get more? Will the camera go back any further to get a little bit more of your guitar? And
I can try a little.
okay. So I'd like a little, especially if you're doing more aggressive stuff like this, your body language can help tell the story as well. But if we can't, I'm not seeing your hand playing, your strumming hand very much.
Yeah, I can't go back too far.
Yeah. Will it tilt? Will the camera tilt down at all or not? Just a little bit yet, and then that'll help. Yeah, that should help. Help some. Yeah. Okay.
A little bit better.
Yeah. Do you have room to move back there?
A tiny bit.
Actually, give yourself a few inches more. Move the mic stand towards me a little bit. Yeah, that'll help you a little bit. Now, so anytime you're not singing, this is for everybody. When you're not singing, I like you to get away from the mic. So, in other words, when you're in front of the mic, I'm ready to hear you sing. So, I get ready to listen, but if nothing's happening, it just gives me a break to see you get away from the mic. So, especially for intros or turnarounds or something, just a simple, if it's short, just a quick step to the side. If it's a long intro, I like you to just come out from the side of the mic and take a step up. And then when you're done, turn and go back. So do that on the intro and then the times between sections too.
Okay.
So just play that intro and go into that first verse, and we'll just focus on that a little bit, the visual part. Okay. This time, play that intro, and then when you're ready to come back to the mic, stay on that one chord. What's the bottom chord? Yeah.
This one, G.
No, the other one.
E minor.
The E minor. Yeah. So stay on that E minor and then turn and go back to your mic. Just kind of ride on that instead of back and forth. And then I want you to do the same thing before you go into that second verse. I don't want to swim. Do the same thing you do on the intro and then land again on that one chord, that E minor, until you're ready to sing. So what that does is it gives you flexibility to just kind of, take your time and get back there and jump in whenever. I mean, granted, it's only 2 chords, so it's not like but sometimes you have songs with a full progression of 4 chords, and it's like it allows you not to have to do the whole loop around and wait till you get, to come in, and, having to play too much fill there. So, so do that intro again, land on the E minor, and then come back and start singing.
Okay. Loose and complete under skies of smoky blue green, and I can't forsake Dixie dead shakes, so we dance the sidewalk clean. My memory is muddy. What's this river that I'm in? New Orleans is sinking minute. I don't wanna swim.
Good. Yeah, that was good. Now, when you're in front of a live audience, it's a little bit different here for online, but yet not. Visually, when you're doing a show, I want you to change the angle of your body. In other words, like if you've got a crowd in front of you, there's people over here, there's people over here, just changing your body angle to a different side of the audience gives us something different visually to look at, plus helps you engage with the people over there. And I'm thinking maybe for online that you could maybe do a little bit of that without looking strange. So just kind of shift, like in the maybe halfway through the verse, shift the angle of your body. And to me, I don't know, let's just see how it looks. Now, I told Sydney, for you guys watching, look in the camera, Sydney. She's got, it's like really piercing eyes that, like when I was watching her the other day, it was like, wow, she was looking into my soul. So there's real strength in her eye contact. Eye contact is huge. I mean, I do want you guys to be looking at the camera, but not constantly. Like if she's playing that turnaround in between, she can look at her guitar, and then just, look other places. But save the really key lyrical stuff. That's when you look in the camera and look at my soul, and, or if you're messing with us on a fun song, maybe you step out. So step out to the side and come right up to the camera, like stare at us in the camera. Do it right now. Yeah. Now sing me the actually, even though you'll be off mic, when you get to, like, I don't know, pick a time to just come up and really get your face in the camera, just so we can see what that feels like.
Even when I'm singing?
Yeah, maybe like, no, let's just wait till that, maybe that turnaround after the first verse. Okay. Before you go into the second verse. And then after we do that, let's actually start with the second verse, the Colonel Tom verse. Okay. The section "Pale as a Light Bulb," was that a bridge, or is that a?
I think it's the third verse.
Okay, so it's kind of a half verse, isn't it? Okay. All right. Yeah, just pick a time, surprise us, and just really come up to the camera and stare through our souls. Okay. Oh, also one other thing. So when you do that stop on the guitar, boom, I want you to, just kind of take your hands off the guitar on times when you can just use your hand to kind of talk to us, really, like, and visually, anytime you do like an upstroke or whatever, or a downstroke sustain, just follow through with your hands. That makes it all more visual too, and more interesting. So without, you have to work at it and be comfortable with it. Some of the stuff's not going to just happen, but those are the tricks that kind of will, like, catch our eye and set us apart. So start with verse 2, Colonel Tom.
Okay. Colonel Tom, what's wrong? What's going on? Can't buy yourself up for a deal. He said it all yourself. Shut your big mouth. You gotta do what you feel is real. Ain't got no picture postcards, ain't got no souvenirs. My baby, she don't know me when I'm thinking about those years. Pale as a light bulb, hanging on a wire, sucking up to someone just to stoke the fire, playing out the highlights of the scenery.
Now change your angle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see what that looks like. So you can sing into the side of the mic. Most mics, yeah, you might not have too much room to do that, but
Yeah.
just a little bit, even if it's just like to do like a riff, and what it's doing is changing it up changing up what we see. Come up to the camera and like sing. Is it you're on a laptop or are you on your phone?
I'm on a laptop, but the webcam is like on a tripod.
Okay. And is that okay? So is there a mic on that also?
No.
So I was going to say, if you guys are filming on your iPhones, you know, coming up and singing a couple lines right into the phone might be kind of funny, even though it'll sound different. It'll be something, you know, just those little things are just going to tweak people and get their attention. But yeah, so start with, yeah, so anytime, again, those guitar stops, let your arm, you know, talk to me with your hands a little bit. Start pale as a light bulb. We'll start from there and go to that next section.
Pale as a light bulb, hanging on a wire, sucking up to someone just to stoke the fire, laying out the highlights of the scenery. Saw a little cloud that looked a little like me. I had my hands in the river, my feet back up on the banks, looked up to the Lord above and said, hey man, thanks. Sometimes I feel so good I gotta scream. She said, Gordy baby, I know exactly what you need. She said, oh she said, I swear to God, she said, oh yeah, yeah. I said my memory's body was this river that I'm in. No one needs to sink a minute, I don't wanna swim. Should I go up to the camera at that part?
Okay. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to encourage everybody to, like, don't be afraid to take chances, you know, because that's when things can get magical. So I'm glad that you know, you're open to that. But I want to try something from an arrangement standpoint. When you get to I have my hands in the river, try giving a like a dry scratch.
Okay.
And just sing over that. So up until I have my hands in the river, and up until you then come in on with chords on sometimes I feel so good I gotta scream.
Okay.
And then when you do those she said, I swear to God, she said, make that first one really low. She said, you know, just like, and then build the next one a little bit, and then really scream out that last one like you've been doing. So if you start softer, we've got somewhere bigger to go. I think that'll really be cool.
Okay.
All right, so sorry, start somewhere in that pale as a light bulb.
Okay.
First.
Pale as a light bulb, hanging on a wire, sucking up to someone just to stoke the fire, playing out the highlights of the scenery. Saw a little cloud that looked a little like me. I had my hands in the river, my feet back up on the banks, looked up to the Lord above and said, hey man, thanks. Sometimes I feel so good I gotta scream. She said, go on baby, I know exactly what you need. She said,
Okay.
oh she said, I said what she said.
Okay. One more time. Now
One more time.
let's put more space between the she said, build it a little bit. She said. So it like, so, because it's like, I really want to build the anticipation on that.
Okay.
Otherwise it's like, oh, it's up and over already. Because it's so you're doing it so well that I want to really maximize that line.
All right.
And that's when I think stare into our souls on that one. Like really look at the camera and deliver those. Okay. So yeah. So I don't know. Did you like the scratch there?
I think it would be better in another verse, probably.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And maybe a different song, but I just wanted to show like the difference. That's another way you can change the dynamics of a song. Especially if it's a song that's had a lot of repetition. It's a nice way to, and not that this one has, but it's a nice way to make a change and really bring the lyric out, is to get rid of the chords. Another thing guitar players can do is do a beat pattern on the box, and just mess with that. There's a lot of things you can do. Of course, loop pedals are amazing and fun for that, but there's a lot you can do without that. So don't want that to limit you. So yeah, so I guess go back to the regular chords, and then we'll build that "She Said" line.
Okay.
So somewhere in that verse.
I had my hands in the river, feet back up on the banks, looked up to the Lord above and said, hey man, thanks. Sometimes I feel so good I gotta scream. She said, go to baby, I know exactly what you mean. She said,
look at us, look at us.
She said,
build it.
I swear to God, she said,
Okay, so when you get to my memory is muddy, let's just do downstrokes. Chomp, 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 chomp. Yeah. So like anytime when you're doing this, I'd love to see you like pull the neck up and now, if it gets to be, I mean, yes, the online show is a bit pared down, but they're all becoming a little homogenized. So I don't mind seeing a little pizzazz in some of that, as long as what you're doing, as long as you're confident in whatever you're doing, we'll buy it.
Okay.
If you're half-assed about it, like I'm not sure, we'll feel uncomfortable. But if you're rocking it out and meaning it, I'm there. So I'm all for helping you stand out when you're amongst thousands of other artists trying to get attention online, okay, and get their Venmo bucks. So try that again. So from that first she said, in fact, if you'd want to even like go to this, she said, like really lean into the mic sideways and just like really hone in on me. I want to feel that. I want to feel that gaze. I swear to God, she said, and then just boom into that chorus. So we'll do that, and then the very my memory's muddy. What river is this I'm in? Let's do diamonds on that. Brum, brum. Yeah, just to change that up. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I have my hands in the. Yeah.
Do you want me to go? Sorry. Like up to the camera when I'm doing the she said, or just staring?
No, just right. Just fix your gaze on us.
Okay.
And lock in, so that we can't look away.
Okay, sounds good. Sometimes I feel so good I gotta scream. She said, go to baby, I know exactly what you mean. She said, she said, she said.
Let's try that again. Yeah. She said, leave a little more pause between the she says.
Okay.
Yeah. And build each one. Okay, same place.
Sometimes I feel so good I gotta scream. She said, go to baby, I know exactly what you mean. She said, oh, she said, I swear to God, she said.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I wasn't stopping you. I was just getting
Oh,
into it.
sorry.
But yeah, like when you do those stops, just kind of like let your arm react.
Okay.
That shows me like you're truly into that. And okay, so then for the ending, I'm gonna jump to that because those last three notes. I want you to hold those out a little bit longer, and the second one longest. So, then slide into the last one, and that's when I want you to add some progressions. That do that progression 3 times.
Right
That
now?
makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah. We
So
can
the
back
very
up a
last
little
one?
bit. Yeah, I mean that's what I want you to do at the very end.
Okay, cool.
So we can start by that was better on those she said. I was
Yeah, I
really
liked it a
feeling
lot.
that. Yeah. And the diamonds were great. So just allow yourself to rock out a little bit on, visually. So I'll tell you if it's too much. If it feels like too much, and you'll be able to tell too. I want you guys to all like video yourselves rehearsing this stuff and look back and go, okay, well, maybe that was a bit much. Oh, there I could be doing more, So I think you'll be able to judge for yourselves what's working before you go live. So again, take some rehearsal. So yeah, take me back again.
To
Let's see.
sorry.
She said, "Gordy, baby."
Okay.
You want to start there?
She said, "Gordy, baby, I know exactly what you mean." She said, oh, she said, I swear to God, she said, oh, yeah. I said my memory is muddy, what's as real that I'm in. Don't need to sink a minute, I don't wanna swim.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah. So when you hit that last chord, let's do a little bit of a trash can ending. Okay.
Yep.
And depending on whether if she's ending her set with this song, if you're live and wanted, the first song and last song for sure in your set should have some sort of a trash ending, and it's going to be different what you do with a solo guitar than what you would do with a band. And there's you can't like go like hyper crazy, but we can do a bit of a trash. So give me a trash right now on your guitar. Are you let it ring and then chomp it off? Bump. Yeah. So that's your cutoff. So yeah, I loved how you hung on that second note. And then anytime when you're holding that third note, you can come in and you can overlap that. You can keep holding it out if you want vocally.
Okay.
Then when you're done singing, get to the side of the mic again, and you'll want to vary it up during your set, which side you go to when you're off mic. So pay attention to that too. So let's do that ending. Let's take it from the memories muddy with those diamonds. Okay. I like what you're doing. Like when you used your arms like that, it was awesome. I loved it. And the times when you're going off mic, to just do the dun, dun, even just rocking that out a little bit, I think it works even just for a solo setting. So let's just have fun with it.
All right.
Okay.
So from the second to last chorus then?
Yeah, wherever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said my memory is muddy. What's this river that I'm in? Don't need to sink a minute. I don't want to swim.
Get to the side.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I said, yeah, just get a little bit away from the mic, a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't need to sink a minute. I don't want to swim.
Trash it out. Yeah. Stay to the side of the mic.
Okay.
And because there's no need, you're done singing. Actually, that's when you could come up to the camera super close for that cutoff. Okay. That would be awesome, actually. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. So just take me at the very end there somewhere, leading up to those. Trash it. No, stay up there. Trash it out. Trash it out. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. The stain. Nice. Good job. All right. Cool. Well, I want to hang on a second. So I want to leave a little time if there are questions. If not, there's something else we can do. So
we actually do have a few quick questions here.
Let's take them.
What are ways to change up what the audience sees when we're sitting and playing with guitar?
Well, I would love to see you guys like have a few songs where you stand and practice going and grabbing the stool maybe while you're talking, or I did with an artist the other day. She actually plays keys and guitar and mandolin, and she worked on her transitions going from guitar to keys. I mean, she talked on her way back to the keyboard, put the mic in. She had the same mic clip for her wireless mic so she could move around a little bit. Another cool thing is maybe have a couple different places. If you're using just one camera, one phone, just maybe have fun with it and move it to a different spot that's already kind of pre-taped so you know where to set it. And that kind of helps change things up for us too. Or you may change the lighting color behind you or something like that. If you have some colored light bulbs that you can maybe sit a lamp on the floor that shines up on a blank wall and create some color. But yeah, if you can either move the camera or move yourself. I love to see, different things, not only in your live shows, but especially your online shows, so that you keep us engaged.
Can you comment on live streaming with 2 people or more creating movement with minimum moving space?
Depends how big what you mean by minimum moving space. But on small stages, a lot of it is going to be, like I was having Sydney try is just, we didn't quite focus on it a whole lot, but just changing the angle of your body can make a big difference. And like if you're maybe connecting on the song, if it's two people, that makes it a lot easier because you can actually turn, sing to each other or play off each other, and even maybe switch places if you've got enough room. That, you know, something as simple as that can help change it up for us for what we're seeing. But yeah, it's a lot of on a small space. It's going to be all about angles and visual. What's your face saying? You know, having your the emotion in your face show me what the song is about. That's a big part of it.
We have one more question here. Do you have any advice for a solo instrumentalist engaging with the audience when they aren't singing? What about if what they're doing is highly technical and requires a lot of focus? Are there ways to look engaged without compromising your accuracy?
Yes. I think if you're playing an instrumental, like we'll tell this with lead guitar players, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to be staring at the audience for, you know, the whole way through a lead solo. I mean, the attention is on the guitar, the attention's on a violin or whatever, if you're doing a solo. So as an instrumentalist, if it's a really tough passage, maybe you just close your eyes and go there and possibly get closer to the camera when you're playing that solo part. But the expression in your face is going to tell me a lot. That's really big. When you're, you know, when you're close up to a camera, we pick up a lot of the emotion from your face and your body language. I mean, if you're standing there playing, do they say what instrument they're playing?
Most of them are playing guitar or bass.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it's a solo, the job of the rest of the band or your job is to draw attention to what we're supposed to be hearing. So if it's a solo, then, you know, draw your attention to your frets, or you know, your lead, what the lead hand is doing. That's going to take us there and put our attention on the right thing. If it's on your vocal, you're looking back at us, or you look at the camera, or, you know, but body language tells a lot, shows us what to look at. If you're playing, if it's a duo, like I've got a husband and wife that do a lot of online gigs, and are doing actually a song a week. And when he's soloing or he's doing the intro on guitar and creating a loop, I told her, you need to turn and watch that. It draws our attention to him. And then vice versa, when he's done and she starts singing, then he turns and draws the attention to her. And at least at the first, he doesn't have to stare at her the whole time. But those visual cues help the audience focus on what's important and what's happening. Good question.
And last question that we have here is, what is the biggest piece of advice you can give young artists for getting comfortable with moving on a stage?
Practice. This is what we call woodshedding. So clear out a space at home or wherever you rehearse and practice walking and singing, practice walking and playing at the same time. Now, when we're one-on-one, it's a little easier, but we move with intention, so I'm talking about a big stage. We move with the intention of getting somewhere, planning ourselves, and then we're back out to the audience. We're delivering. So move, plant, deliver. But even just, you know, for these online shows, just work at just letting go and just loosen up your body first and try a lot of things. No one's watching. Set up a camera, film yourself, and try a lot of things. And the more you work at it, the more comfortable it will become. I mean, playing your instrument wasn't easy the first, I don't know, year maybe, when you're just learning chords or whatever. And the same thing with movement. It's not going to feel that natural. I mean, sometimes for some people, it's like I tell them to use their hands and they've got their elbows locked at their sides, and they're just kind of like this, and just free yourself up. Give yourself permission, because no one comes to a show, no one clicks online to your show to see you play it safe. Um, we want you to go for it. We want to be captured and engaged. So give us something to watch, and those movements, those little things, the freedom we see that you have, the more free you are, the more relaxed we are in watching, and the more we'll want to keep watching you. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, it's something that takes rehearsal, and not, don't wait till you push that record button, live button. Make sure you've worked on something before you test drive it before an audience.
I just found one last question here in the comments, and then I'll let you do your wrap up. I'd love to know how you got into working with Tom and teaching his method.
Well, like you maybe heard in the introduction, I've been on stage, I've been in band since high school, and there were a lot of things I did wrong, but some things I must have done right. The man that managed our band was good friends with Tom and connected us, and he thought, I think Amy would be good at this, because she was a good performer herself. So it was the culmination of that, and being producing some things in the studio, songwriting, song arranging, all those things came into play with this job. And it's just like, it's one of those jobs I never knew I always wanted kind of thing. So yeah, I just love being able to help artists do their thing in a better way, because it's fruitless if you're not able to connect to the audience. You're doing a lot of work for nothing if they can't grasp it, if you can't go out there and make fans every night.
And that's all of the questions that we have here on our
Okay.
Facebook feed.
Okay. Well, I'd love to, I just want to thank you for having me. And there's a lot more paths we can go down. Look for moments in your set. Try an a cappella song. Vary your set by changing instruments. But even have friends come over and create a live audience if you're comfortable with the COVID thing, and you could have actual people in the room with you. That might help you do better in terms of feeling like you're doing a live show. And one thing Val told me, she brought this out, and I will reinforce this because she'll be mad if I don't say this. Come out, do your first song without saying anything. Please, for the love, because you need to win them over. It's kind of like it's too much too soon. If you just meet somebody, you don't tell them your life story. I would love you to see you turn on that camera, go live, play a song, and then talk to us, because you kind of have to earn the right to speak. So get rid of that recital mentality, and just come out and blow us away and earn the right to speak to the audience. And I did something weird that I didn't want to do. Actually, when I came on, I was going to tell you guys, don't do this. I kind of feel like online, I hear a lot of people, hey, everybody, thanks for being here. Well, I'm just me watching you. I'm not everybody. I'm not in the room with anybody else. So I feel like it might be more personal if you just do your show as if you're doing it to one person. And I almost think that might feel more personal to the people watching, because they're just, most of them are just an audience of one. So it was something that I just kept hitting me as I was watching people do shows. But anyway, guys, this takes work. It's another element. So don't think just learning your instrument, writing some songs. You've got to also work on the live audience aspect and make that connection. And I really encourage you to watch Tom's videos, get the book, whatever it takes.
Well, Amy, thank you very so much for your time today. We're so glad to have you joining us. And thank you to Madison and Sydney for also sharing your music with us. We really appreciate it. If you want to check out more of this stuff, you can go to onstagesuccess.com and find a bunch of resources. I know you guys have an excellent blog and YouTube videos. And I can attest to how incredible this method and how much it changes your live show. So Amy, thank you so much for your time today. Stay safe in Nashville, and thank you. We look forward to having you back again soon.
I'd love to. Thanks. Bye, everybody.